This video will demonstrate on a 1983 Lincoln Continental Mark VI coupe how to remove and replace a door striker bolt and retrieve its internal supporting washer when, not if, but when it falls within the frame body during the replacement process. This applies to Lincoln Continental Mark VIs from 1980 to 1989. Lincoln Continental Mark VI sedans and town coupes may have a slightly different process. Both striker bolts on my vehicle were missing the plastic guard, and the seller, to me, wrapped electrical tape around the bolt. This is not the look you want on your Lincoln. When the internal washer falls into the vehicle frame, you get an exposed hole like this. The washer cannot be easily accessed through this hole, so I will show you how to successfully retrieve and remount it. This is the striker bolt washer, which supports the bolt within the frame of the vehicle. It's a big and thick metal piece. It appeared that it would be a lightweight metal washer, which I thought could be held in place with duct tape during the bolt removal and reinstallation process. Others had suggested using magnets around the bolt to stabilize the washer when loosening and tightening it. However, I did not have magnets readily available. Of the two options, using strong magnets to stabilize the washer is the better of the two options. I will be demonstrating this process using my 1983 Lincoln Continental Mark VI Emilio Pucci Edition coupe. I installed the Dorman Model 38421 striker bolt. Some websites claim it doesn't fit and suggest a variation with a C-shaped bar around the bolt. That was wrong for my application. It needed the 7/16th-14th model I purchased. I selected the Dorman brand based on the recommendation of other Lincoln Mark VI owners. Tools needed: you will need the T50 socket. The T50 has a tight fit into the head of the Dorman 38241 striker bolt. It was recommended for this application and has a snug fit into the grooves of the striker bolt head. It feels as if it's slightly too big. I had to press inward with the T50 socket into the head of the striker bolt to gain a better grasp. Maybe a T51 or T49, assuming they are smaller in size, might offer a better fit. However, the T50, it did the job. You'll also need a ratchet wrench and possibly an extension rod, electrical and manual Phillips head screwdrivers, and flashlights. Removal: insert the T50 socket head into the striker bolt head. Turn the socket counterclockwise, left, lefty-loosey, righty-tighty, so you're going to spin it left. Expect the worst, that the washer will fall into the frame of the vehicle. So when it does, you will not be surprised. This is the view from inside of the door frame showing where the washer should have been mounted. This is the view from inside of the door frame with the washer mounted on the inside. Notice the various tabs to help secure it in place. This washer can be moved left, right, up, and down in the striker bolt alignment process. These tabs enable the user to perform alignment. If the washer is not properly mounted, the washer will fall once the bolt has been threaded out of it, as did both of mine. Remove the rear seat lower cushion frame. I have created a separate video for this step, so check it out. Excluding the rear lower seat cushion frame, the sections where action is required are A, B, C, D, and E. I would recommend disassembly in that order. If you discover an easier and more efficient process, please add your comments. The sections are: Section A, rear window trim. This has 4 screws. Once the screws are removed, remove this entire section from the interior of the vehicle. Section B, upper rear panel. Within Section B, you've got B1, the clothing hook. It has a plastic housing and one screw made visible once you pull the tip of the hook rod outward. B2, the upper and lower panel support screw. B3, the upper panel support screw. This is hidden under section D. Section C, the lower panel. Section C1, this is the ashtray container. It has two screws made visible once the lever on the lid is turned and the lid is lifted. C2, lower panel support screw, which is buried in the carpet pile. C3, plastic pressure pin, that's hidden behind section C panel. C4, cloth liner, hidden behind section C panel, as well as C5, which is paper liner, which is also hidden behind section C panel. Section D, upper arm strap flashing. D1, that's the arm strap. This has two screws made visible once the screw overlapping strip of vinyl is outwardly pried away from each outer edge of the strap handle. D2, that's the guide track for section D, which is hidden behind section D panel. This enables section D to slide forward to expose B3 screw and rearward to hide B3 screw. Section E, threshold plate. This has 4 screws. It secures the floor carpet and assists in securing section C in place. This is a close-up of the left carpeted area in section C, showing where the support screw, C2, is buried in the carpet pile. This is a close-up of the hidden screw, and it's really flushed in the carpet, so you got to scratch around that general area for you to find the actual screws. Phillips screw head. This is a close-up of the upper arm strap flashing, section D. Notice that D1 is the strap, and if you look closely at the end, you will see the grooves in the screw overlapping strip of vinyl. D2 is where the guide track is hidden underneath the flashing. Note that section D is stacked on top of section B. The upper panel support screw of section B is under section D. This is a close-up of the guide track D2, which is hidden from view in section D. Remove the 2 screws from the upper arm strap D1 and gently slide section D forward just enough to expose the upper panel support screw B3 and free it from support underneath section D. The guide, D2, underneath section D will support the movement. Remove the threshold plate. This has 4 screws. Loosen and gently separate sections B, C, and D from the vehicle frame. When removing support screws for section B and C, gently use the front seat belt straps and wrap it around the front seat headrest to stabilize section B. Gently lift and separate section B from section C. Notice the ledge at the top of section C, slightly above the wood panel. This ledge helps support section B. Move section C and access behind it the black colored plastic pressure pin. Grab underneath the head of the pin and pull outward to remove it. Pull aside the corner of the cloth liner and cut a hole in the paper lining. You could also try peeling it away from the frame instead. Secure and mount the washer. The protruding thread hole section should be facing rearward. Hand thread and tighten the new bolt through the door frame and washer holes. Visually align the striker bolt with the center of the door clamp. Test and adjust the bolt's alignment by repeatedly opening and closing of the door. Reassemble all other parts, adjust, align, and further tighten the bolt with the T50 socket. Finally, adjust as necessary until the door opens and closes without excessive force. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe for more videos.